This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Again, anytime when you can sit in a conference room and look at the Chesapeake Bay is a good day. And we are here with Hillary Harp Falk, Billy Sadler, and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. But we're here to talk about my favorite event of the year, Bands in the Sand, which is coming up on June 14th. And I'm pretty excited about it, man. And we'll say that Billy with Annapolis Subaru, you guys have been the title sponsor for We're Out of Fingers,
Long
aren't
time.
we? We're out of fingers.
Since inception.
This event, I was just reading some statistics, has raised $5.5 million for the Bay.
Just incredible.
Which absolutely is. Well, for those that aren't aware, this is the party of the year. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation does know how to throw an amazing party, and they've got an amazing venue. We're going to have a live concert on the beach. We're going to have lots of food on the beach. We're going to have lots of drink on the beach. But more importantly, we're going to have lots of fun, and we're going to raise lots of money for probably the best cause in the state of Maryland and beyond, because your watershed goes well beyond Maryland. And one thing that I do love about this event is that you change up your entertainment all the time, except Misspent Youth. They're here. They're just sort of like part of it. It's Bands in the Sand, Misspent Youth. It should be all one word, but they're back again. But this year you've got a reggae band, and I'm kind of excited about it because I saw a teaser with Annapolis Subaru with Sister Hazel. I thought I saw Billy rolling with a vacuum cleaner in the dealership, jamming to Sister Hazel.
Yeah, listening to that one song on repeat.
I remember listening to them in high school and loving it. So it's
Thank you guys
fun.
for making me feel very old, but I appreciate that.
It's not hard to do, John.
Thank you again. For those that have never been, I do recommend that you do it because, number one, because it's a great cause. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation is doing such great work, and particularly in this year, you guys are facing a lot of unknowns. In the face of unknown, the community just needs to step up. And it happened during COVID, and it needs to happen here because we do need to keep working on the Bay. I mean, the work that you guys have done has really exacerbated taking us from the D's to the C's to the, so our grades are getting better, but we can't afford to slip back.
Yeah, thanks so much for mentioning that. We're facing a lot of challenges, whether it's deregulation or loss of federal funding for environmental work, and especially focusing on climate change. And so the work that we do day in and day out is pretty serious right now, which is also why this event is so much fun. It's a great time to just enjoy being on the Bay and getting to experience great music, great food, great drinks, and be together to save the Bay.
Does your staff absolutely love this event because they can let their hair down and just...
No, they're working the whole time, John. Hillary runs a tight ship here. All right, there's no sneaking drinks, no eating the food.
But you know what? They all roam the beaches with the smiles on their faces and the credit card machines to take donations for the raffles, which are always pretty amazing. Making sure we don't have anybody sneaking it up on the beach that hasn't paid and has docked their boats, because you can bring your boat to the event as well.
Absolutely, or kayak in. So
stand-up paddleboarding?
Absolutely.
It is all about the Bay, and it's an evening of celebration. Sister Hazel, I'm not quite sure how you got them, but that's going to be a great addition. I know you've got Tony Roy and Yodlink, who I've never heard of, but they are, I was Spotifying them a little bit, and they're a fun reggae band. And are they the ones that are going to open?
Yes. So they'll be opening, and then we'll be enjoying Sister Hazel, and then, of course, wrapping up with a Misspent Youth.
Okay, cool. So Misspent Youth is the most amazing closing band. They used to close for many years, and then they took a couple breaks, and I think the headliners closed as opposed to being in the middle. And you can't end an evening better.
They're certainly entertaining, and they definitely, pretty much everybody in the crowd knows all the words to every song that they do. They're very good at staying relevant and in getting everybody in the mood to finish out the evening on a high note, for sure.
True. Got to dance all the food off.
That is true.
and all the drink and everything else that's there. And again, this is all inclusive, okay? So when people sit there and think, okay, gosh, I've got to spend $175 for a ticket, which, by the way, is going up on May 1st.
$200
to $200. So even when you think about spending $200 for a ticket, what is it going to cost you to go out to a nice dinner? And when I say nice dinner, we've got the Chop Tank doing oysters right on the beach. Come on. How good does it get? You've got Timber Pizza, which is new with a retail store in Annapolis, which is fabulous pizza. You've got the Boatyard Bar and Grill, which has been a sponsor from day one as well. You just look for the, as long as he can keep it inflated, you could look for his shark up over the over the tent to where Dick is. You've got Always Ice Cream, all the food that you can eat. It is mostly tax deductible, but that's not why you should buy your ticket there. You should buy it for the fun and basically to be able to help out the Bay. We're coming into, as we're recording this, into Earth Day. Which also really sort of ties into the Chesapeake Bay.
You know, Earth Day is like Super Bowl around here. So even though we're working for the Earth every day, I think it's a great time of year where we've got spring, we've got different birds coming back onto the Bay, and Osprey in particular. It's pretty exciting to see all the Osprey back in town.
They've just come back in the last couple of weeks, which is pretty exciting.
So they're building nest, diving for menhaden, and it's an exciting time to see spring really come to life. And so Earth Day is a great time to remember why we do the work we do and to get outside and experience the Bay.
It is. And it's a real rebirth. As I look out the window here, you're seeing the ospreys sitting here diving, but you're looking at the trees that are starting to bloom. And before you know it, we're going to be in full-blown summer. And I think that Bands in the Sand really is sort of, and Billy, you've mentioned it a couple of times, but is like the official starting flag for summer.
It's the kickoff to summer. It really is. Today we're recording, and it's a little chilly. The Osprey are probably, maybe we came back a little early here.
Yeah, right? we need to go south for another week.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Bands in the Sand is definitely, I view it, I think a lot of people do, as the kickoff to summer. It's like once that approaches, once you're there, it's a great way to kick it off. And the ticket prices are, like you were mentioning before, you get so much bang for your buck. And one of the things that is great about it is that, a lot of times if you donate to a charity, you're not able to actually see the impact that you're having. When you're buying these tickets and you're coming to this event, you get to experience everything that the Chesapeake Bay has to offer right here in one location. The building is phenomenal that you guys have here, but it has nothing on this scene that we're looking at here. The water, the beach, and then all the food, the oysters that come out of the Chesapeake Bay, all that stuff is just awesome.
And, talk about the building. You guys do a little bit more than talk the talk. You do walk the walk. You've got a platinum LEED building, and I don't know what the acronym LEED is, but it's energy efficient is the EE, and design maybe?
Yeah, so when this building was built around 2000, there was no platinum certification for green buildings. And so this is the first platinum LEED building in the world. And 25 years later, it's still incredible. We've made some upgrades and increased our solar panels, but it largely is the same building that we've had for 25 years and has been a model for other buildings, including our Brock Environmental Center and other green buildings around the world.
But you look at this, you guys had this vision 25 years ago to build this, and here now it's still leading the way.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat too, because especially in the spring, almost every day we have students on campus who get to experience the building and learn about all of its green features, get to go out front and seine and canoe in our neighboring creek. And what an incredible opportunity for the next generation of problem solvers to get to experience the building and the Bay.
Agreed. You've got to get out there. You've got to experience it. You've got to experience it yourself and see for yourself what help it needs. And then you're kind of hooked. And I love that you say you've got lots of kids running around and everything else. When coming up the steps, there was a gang that was heading down and heading out. They're learning about it, and hopefully they're the ones in 15, 20 years now are going to be going to Bands in the Sand and continuing to support the Chesapeake Bay Foundation as it continues.
And that's one of the really cool things that you guys do that I'm not sure if everybody is aware of, but the education programs that you guys have with the kids and also the teachers, where you're sending them to Smith Island, Tangier Island, to experience, all of the things that you guys are trying to save and to help, and that it has such a huge impact on these young minds that, you're helping, change paths of kids' lives at such an early age, at such an influential time in their in their lives. And it, all the money that is raised from Bands in the Sand, which is your biggest fundraising event of the year, goes to help those programs and help those kids understand where it is they live and why they get to experience this and how to save it, how to keep it going.
I will even say, I remember we did a podcast with Hillary, and I would venture to say that the Chesapeake Bay changed the trajectory of your life.
It did. I was one of those students getting to go out to Smith Island in middle school.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
And
That's awesome.
I mean, what an incredible opportunity that was for me and for so many students across the region. I also love to be around students. We talk about all the challenges in the world, all the challenges we face on the Chesapeake Bay. But there's just nothing like talking to students about their passion and about the future. And they are very clear on the challenges that we face, but also incredibly optimistic about what they can do to change the world.
That's really encouraging. Again, there's nothing better. I mean, yes, you can throw slides up in the classroom and show videos and film strips and all that kind of stuff. But when somebody actually gets here and is able to see an osprey swooping down into the bay, coming up with a fish for their nest or building their nest, or just even the stuff that we don't see. I mean, we look out here. I mean, I'm not seeing little critter crawlers on the beach, but they're all there and they're all part of the bay that makes everything great. What about Bands in the Sand is your favorite thing?
I just love being around so many people who are enjoying their evening and also are here for the mission of the organization. And it is a sea of humanity on the beach, all just enjoying themselves. But I also love the individual conversations about what brought people to support CBF and to support the evening. And I also it's always a great time.
What about you, Billy?
Well, my favorite part is definitely the bands. I like the music. I also like the collection of cups that I've gotten over the years. My kids every morning drink out of a Bands in the Sand cup, just water or juice. But yeah, no, it's so much fun. I mean, the atmosphere, the energy, everybody is just so happy to be supporting the Chesapeake Bay Foundation and be out and about with a bunch of like-minded people. And there's no stress, right, Hillary? There's no stress,
no,
right?
No,
Nothing at all going into it. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to see everybody have a good time and support the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. So,
well, you did mention the cups too, and I mean they do give out aluminum or some metal type of a cup, and every year, because this is a near zero, if not fully zero waste event. Again, it's walking the walk and talking the talk as well. Everything gets recycled. It's the vendors, the food people that are coming out there. They're bringing serving on recyclable things, and it's and certainly the oyster shells that you're going to get at the Chop Tank Oyster will get recycled back into the bay to actually help improve the bay with as they build reefs and everything else. So it's really sort of a full circle event.
Yeah, and those oyster shells are so important because that's what we can use to put baby oysters on, to put back in the bay. And one of the most exciting success stories of the last decade is oyster restoration on the Chesapeake Bay. And we really need those oyster shells so that we can plant more oysters in the bay.
Well, I do love that the DNR has done the program where you've got the restaurants across Maryland that are collecting the used oyster shells to do that. And I've been out on a couple of the boats where they're bringing the shells up and putting them in and everything else. It's really amazing. And DNR also had a video at one point. I got to see if I can find where it is, but water without an oyster and water with an oyster. And just, it was like, I would drink out of that tank. And that one, I'm not sure I'd dip my toe in it.
Yeah, oysters are just incredible in their ability to filter the bay, but are also habitat for other organisms. And in the age of climate change, we're seeing that they also slow wave action. So you really can't get a better species for the Chesapeake Bay. And the growth of aquaculture on the bay has also just been tremendous. And so for those of us who still love eating oysters, they play so many different important roles in the Chesapeake Bay.
And I will say another one of the sponsors of the Boatyard Bar and Grill has also joined a program where they give a percentage of their profits every single year to help the environmental causes. So again, there's a local business that's walking the walk and talking the talk and deserves your support, as does Annapolis Subaru that comes here. Have you guys figured out what car you're going to bring here?
Not yet, John. It's going to be a great car, though. Hope it might be a hybrid Forester. You never know.
That's right. You've got the new hybrid there.
Yep, it's coming out.
Ties right in.
Coming
with
out here soon.
The event.
Yeah, but with the oyster restoration, we've had the opportunity to we built some of the oyster cages with you guys that people will put on their docks. Was it for the spat?
Yeah.
Right. And then one of the really cool things is when you guys make these oyster balls. Yep. Right. And that's what goes out into the bay and then generates these environments for these oysters to grow. But there's so much that goes into everything. It's not just taking the shells and throwing them out in the bay and letting them do their thing. They have so many processes and things that they do and focus on in order to get this stuff done. And, we've had the opportunity to see it in person. And I highly recommend, if this is something that you're into and, volunteer, reach out, help out with any way you can, because there's so much manual labor that goes into doing all of this stuff. It's, the money's great, but also they need hands every once in a while.
And the other thing that you want to remember, though, is that to help with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, it doesn't take a lot. Yes, if Bill Gates and Musk are listening, they can write this huge check, and that would be more than welcome. It doesn't take an awful lot. You can volunteer. You can just make a bigger effort to recycle. Maybe you can just say, hey, I want to change up the fertilizer or the seeding on my lawn. All of those little things, little steps, really have a big effect on the Chesapeake Bay, which really affects every county, every city in Maryland.
Absolutely. And membership at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation is another great way to get involved, and you can learn all about our volunteer opportunities. You can reach out to your member of Congress on an important piece of legislation, but you also mentioned all the things that you can do at home. And there are just a lot of different ways that individuals can really help support our work to save the Bay.
I do suggest that everybody get out on Earth Day, and this is coming out just a couple days before Earth Day. Do what you can to save the Earth. I do suggest everybody come out on June 14th, and we can do everything that we can to...
Well, they might sell out, though, John. They're probably going to sell out.
That's true, and you can save $25 if you do it before May 1st.
I like Billy's optimism on this.
No, they're definitely going to sell it. Everybody can't come. Here's... You want to come, so you should buy a ticket early.
Well, your VIP tickets are sold out. The committee tickets are close to sold out. And I will say that, general admission tickets are going fast, but general admission is sort of a misnomer, and we've talked about it too. But I mean, this is not
it's all VIP.
Give your drink ticket to get a beer and all of that kind of thing. I mean, general admission is VIP. And as far as I'm concerned, the only place to be here is down on the beach, because you've got a straight shot into Sister Hazel, you've got Misspent Youth, you've got Tony Roy and Yodlink, which is just going to be a fabulous night on June 14th right here in Annapolis at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see see how much you add to your $5.5 million, which is still a number that really kind of blows my mind.
It's a lot of money.
And you'll see Billy on stage.
That's right. He's going to be the MC.
What? Not the MC.
No.
No, but we are giving away 150 trees on Earth Day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We actually sent out some communication a little early. It's Subaru Loves the Earth month here. We always love the Earth, but particularly this month. And so one of the things we're doing this year is we're giving away 150 trees that are native to our local area. And Michelle and I were a little worried about having a bunch of trees on our lot left over if we didn't get rid of the 150 trees. So we sent out an email a little early, and literally every single one of our trees are spoken for.
I love that we live in a community that is so in tune to the environment, that understands what we need.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, thank you for loving the earth, and thank you for the addition 150 trees to our environment here. And certainly Hillary and your team and everybody here at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, I mean, thank you for everything you guys have been doing for years and years and years and years and years. And I hope you don't need to do it for years more. I mean, that would be great to put you all out of business. And unfortunately, it's not. We're living in a time where we still have this challenge to do. And we've just got this wonderful resource that's sitting right outside of our window right now that we all benefit from, whether it be just dipping our toes in the water, or whether we're out sailing or fishing or just having fun on the bay, water skiing, whatever it may be. And a lot of that is just because of the work that you guys have done over the years.
Thanks so much for that. And, while we always talk about the challenges that we have and the challenges ahead, I'm still so optimistic, and to see how much progress we've made over the last 60 years as a community. We are continuing to clean up the bay and the rivers and streams that feed it. And there's a lot of hope, especially with oyster restoration and the partners that we work with and farmers who are putting conservation practices on the ground. We can do this, and we're grateful for our partners and our sponsors for this event, who will allow us to raise the funds we need to continue to do our work.
Well, we are going to do that on June 14th, but you want to go to cbf.org/bandsinthesand, secure your ticket. If you'd like to save $25, you can secure that ticket before May 1st. I do suggest that because they are going fast. They are going to sell out. Even though this is late April, June is literally right around the corner. You don't want to look at your calendar and go, oh my God, I need to get to Bands in the Sand at the end of May, because it probably ain't happening.
Yeah, and if you call us for tickets, we're probably not going to have them either.
as they do everywhere. Well, as I say, we're at the end of April here. We're approaching Earth Day. I can't wait to see you guys in about a month and a half.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Finally, I figured out what it took a long, long time. Now there's a ton about, maybe because I'm trying. There's been times so confused on my road, just can't turn, walk away. It's hard to say what it is I see in you. Wonder if I'll always be with you. Words can't say it, I can't do nothing. It's all for you. Thought I'd seen it all, but it's been a long, long time. Oh, but then we're tripping fall, wondering if I'm blind. There's been times I'm so confused on my road, just can't turn, walk away. It's hard to say what it is I see in you. Wonder if I'll always be with you. Words can't say it, I can't do nothing. It's all for you. Rain comes pouring down, falling from blue skies. Words without a sound, coming from your eyes. Finally, I figured out, but it took a long, long time. There's been times so confused on my road, just can't turn, walk away. It's hard to say what it is I see in you. Wonder if I'll always be with you.
This has been a bonus podcast from Ion Annapolis. Please visit us at ionannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.